was a dim autumn evening when Emma Lockwood arrived at the old manor on the outskirts of Blackwood Vale. The road had narrowed into a mossy path, flanked by gnarled trees whose skeletal branches scratched the orange twilight sky. Emma had inherited the manor unexpectedly after her estranged great-uncle died without heirs. She had always heard rumors about Blackwood Manor, whispers of shadows, strange noises, and a corridor where no footsteps ever echoed. The carriage rolled to a halt before the heavy iron gates, and Emma stepped out, her heart pounding. The manor stood before her in stoic silence, windows like dark eyes watching her approach. She paused, took a breath, and pushed open the heavy oak front door. It creaked loudly, as though it was warning her to turn back. Inside, the foyer was grand but worn. Chandeliers hung limp, draped in cobwebs. Wallpaper peeled at the corners, and dusty sunlight slanted in through tall windows. Emma's footsteps echoed faintly. She called out, "Hello? Is anybody here?" But her voice was swallowed by the silence. She lit a lantern she'd brought and explored. The manor seemed frozen in time, furniture draped under white sheets, old portraits with cracked glass, and a pervasive chill in every corner. Yet the atmosphere was heavy, as if the house itself was breathing just barely. That first night, Emma could not sleep. She lay awake in one of the upstairs bedrooms, listening. At precisely midnight, she heard it, a low moaning sound, echoing, then silence. She sat up, heart pounding, but convinced herself it was the wind or old wood settling. The next morning, she began exploring more thoroughly. In the library, she found dusty tomes, journals, and letters from past occupants. One journal entry caught her eye, written by her great-uncle. "The corridor, there is a corridor with no echo. No matter how loud one walks, the footfalls disappear." As dusk approached on day 2, Emma made her way through a narrow hallway at the east wing, rumored to be the silent corridor. She paused and listened. She took a deliberate step. And indeed, there was nothing. No echo, no reverberation, nothing at all. Her mind reeled. How could such a thing exist? She retraced her steps, but something changed. The light seemed dimmer, the air colder. The manor's silence felt oppressive. Doors down the hallway began creaking by themselves. Shadows moved just beyond her vision. She hurried back to her room and tried to sleep again. In the middle of the night, she awoke to muffled whispers. They seemed to come from the corridor, soft, indistinct voices. She wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and ventured out, lantern in hand. The corridor stretched before her, lamps flickering, walls lined with heavy drapes. As she proceeded, Emma felt a presence. Someone or something was watching her. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, though still impossible to discern. She came to a dead end, a massive door carved with unfamiliar runes. She pressed her hand against it. It gave way to a cold draft that extinguished her lantern. In darkness, she heard a gasp and a soft footstep behind her. She fumbled to relight the lantern. When the glow returned, standing in front of her was a ghostly figure, a woman in white, translucent, sorrowful. The apparition's lips moved soundlessly. Emma's heart knocked in her chest. The ghost stepped forward, passing through her, and Emma's vision blurred. She staggered. The hallway behind her seemed to bend and twist. She glimpsed figures at windows, shadows in side rooms. The walls themselves seemed to breathe. Then the ghost spoke, though not aloud. The words came in Emma's mind. "You freed me." Emma trembled. "Who are you?" she thought. The ghost's lips shaped a name. Isabel. Isabel, the manor's former mistress, who disappeared decades ago. In life, she had walked that corridor nightly, seeking something, trapped by a curse, bound to silence. Her body had vanished, leaving only echoes of memory. Emma backed away. The figure drifted toward the carved door. It swung open, revealing a spiral staircase descending into darkness. Emma felt compelled, drawn forward. She followed the specter down. The stairs led into an underground crypt, lit by faint phosphorescent lichen. Coffins lined the walls. Cobwebs glowed in the pale light. At the far end lay an altar, a single casket bearing the name Isabel Blackwood. Gasps tore from Emma's throat. The ghost hovered over the coffin, pressing her hand to the lid. Emma approached cautiously. The lid eased open. Inside lay a skeletal form, draped in tattered white. Isabel turned her hollow skull toward Emma, and from the coffin spilled spectral ribbons of light, wrapping around Emma's ankles, pulling her in. In fear, Emma tried to resist, but the ghost whispered in her mind, "Set me free." With trembling fingers, Emma reached in and touched the bones. She spoke aloud, "I free you, Isabel." A shock went through the crypt. The ribbons of light vanished. The body dissolved into motes of shimmering dust, shooting upward. The ghost soared upward, a swirl of luminous energy. A soft, melodic sigh echoed through the crypt. The carved door slammed shut. The apparition's voice whispered, "Thank you. Goodbye." Emma fell to her knees, heart pounding. The crypt grew still. She made her way up the spiral staircase. When she merged into the silent corridor, a gentle breeze passed through her, and for the first time she heard an echo, her footsteps ringing faintly. She smiled. Over the next morning, the manor felt different. The air lighter, the shadows less oppressive. Emma packed her journal, letters, and the lamp. Before leaving, she revisited the corridor. She stepped forward and heard her footfalls echo. She whispered, "Echo," and it answered. As she drove away on the mossy path, glancing back, she thought she saw a pale figure at the front window, watching. She raised a hand and the figure vanished. Emma sighed, driving into sunrise. She would return one day to restore the manor, to bring light and life. And she would tell the world the tale of the silent corridor.